The Shadows of History. Forget everything you think you know about American history, because today, we're not talking about presidents, battles, or the birth of a nation. We're pointing out something far stranger, the stories history couldn't explain, the cases that defy reason, and the mysteries that linger like ghosts in the collective memory of a nation. Imagine a map of America not filled with cities and states, but with question marks, places where the truth dissolved into rumor and evidence gave way to legend. These are the unsolved mysteries of American history, from vanishing colonies to missing icons, where every clue leads to more confusion than clarity.
Let us view this side of the story with our YouTube channel, Acumen Analysis. Before the start of this video, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends to make them aware of upcoming threats to humanity.
1. The vanishing colony of Roanoke, America's first great mystery. It began with hope, a promise of a new beginning. In 1587, over 100 English settlers established a colony on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what's now North Carolina. They were pioneers, dreamers seeking a foothold in the New World. Their governor, John White, sailed back to England for supplies, expecting to return within months. But storms, wars, and fate delayed him for 3 long years. When he finally returned in 1590, the colony was gone. Every house dismantled, no signs of struggle, no graves, only one haunting clue carved into a wooden post: Croatoan. It wasn't just a word, it was a riddle. Croatoan was the name of a nearby island and a friendly native tribe. Yet when search parties went there, no trace of the settlers was ever found. Some historians believe the colonists assimilated with local tribes. Others think disease or starvation wiped them out. But then there are darker theories: secret Spanish raids, supernatural disappearances, or even a lost civilization consuming them. More than 400 years later, Roanoke remains America's first and perhaps most enduring historical enigma. 2. D.B. Cooper, the Skyjacker who vanished into thin air. Thanksgiving Eve, 1971. A man in a black suit and dark sunglasses boards a flight from Portland to Seattle under the name Dan Cooper. Calm, polite, and eerily composed, he hands a note to a flight attendant. Inside, a message that would make history: "I have a bomb." He demands $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready in Seattle. The airline complies. He releases the passengers, then instructs the remaining crew to fly low toward Mexico. Somewhere over the dense forests of Washington, Cooper opens the rear stairs, straps on a parachute, and leaps into the stormy night, disappearing forever. Despite a massive manhunt, the FBI found nothing. No parachute, no body, no trace. Only a few decaying bills later discovered by a boy on a riverbank in 1980. Bills that matched the ransom money. Was he a master criminal who got away clean? Or did he die in the fall? Theories abound, from ex-military specialists to inside jobs, to the idea that D.B. Cooper never existed at all. The case remains the only unsolved skyjacking in U.S. history, sealed in the nation's imagination as the ultimate disappearing act. 3. The Mary Celeste, the ghost ship of the Atlantic. On December 4th, 1872, the British ship Dei Gratia spotted a vessel drifting silently in the Atlantic Ocean. It was the Mary Celeste, perfectly intact, sails set, cargo untouched, but completely abandoned. The captain's log stopped abruptly days earlier. The crew's personal belongings were still in their cabins, food and water supplies were plentiful, and yet the lifeboat was missing. No signs of a struggle, no bodies, no message, just emptiness. Speculations ran wild. Some said it was piracy, others mutiny, or perhaps a gas explosion forcing the crew to flee temporarily, only to be lost at sea. But some believed something stranger happened. Whispers of sea monsters, alien abductions, or a Bermuda Triangle-like phenomenon. To this day, the Mary Celeste stands as the sea's most haunting riddle, a ghost ship adrift in maritime legend. 4. The disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa, the Union leader who vanished without a trace. July 30th, 1975, Detroit. Jimmy Hoffa, once one of America's most powerful labor union leaders, waits outside a suburban restaurant for a meeting with mob associates. Witnesses saw him pacing the parking lot. And then, nothing. He was never seen again. For decades, Hoffa's disappearance has been the ultimate true crime puzzle. Theories range from mob execution to government involvement to disposal under concrete stadiums. Some claim he was buried under Giant Stadium. Others insist he was incinerated to erase all evidence. In 1982, he was declared legally dead, but the mystery only grew larger. Was Hoffa silenced? Because he knew too much about organized crime? Or because he was planning a comeback that threatened the wrong people? To this day, every lead leads to another dead end. Hoffa's name has become synonymous with disappearance itself, proof that even in the modern age, some ghosts never rest. 5. Amelia Earhart, the sky's lost pioneer. In 1937, Amelia Earhart set out to become the first woman to fly around the world. A symbol of courage, independence, and innovation, she was nearing the final stretch of her journey when her plane vanished over the Pacific. No distress call, no wreckage, only silence. For nearly a century, the search for answers has spanned oceans and generations. Some believe she crashed into the sea near Howland Island. Others think she survived, captured by the Japanese military or living under an assumed identity after the war. Artifacts, like a skeleton on a remote island and personal items resembling hers, have fueled endless debate. Amelia Earhart wasn't just a pilot, she was a beacon of what was possible. And her disappearance remains a wound in history's sky, forever unanswered. The Black Dahlia, Hollywood's most chilling crime. Los Angeles, 1947. The city of dreams, glitz, and stardom. But beneath the golden lights of Hollywood, a nightmare was about to unfold that would haunt America for generations. On a cold January morning, a local resident discovered something horrific in a vacant lot near Leimert Park: the bisected body of a young woman, drained of blood, mutilated with precision, and eerily posed as though part of some grotesque tableau. She was soon identified as Elizabeth Short, a 22-year-old aspiring actress from Massachusetts, a woman who came to Los Angeles chasing the Hollywood dream. But the tabloids had other plans. They called her the Black Dahlia, a name inspired by her love of dark clothing and the film noir The Blue Dahlia, which was popular at the time. From that moment, her tragic death became a media sensation. Part murder mystery, part lurid spectacle. The investigation exposed the dark, glittering underbelly of Hollywood, a world of broken promises, shady connections, and powerful men hiding behind fame and fortune. Over 150 suspects were questioned, including doctors, actors, and even a few police officers. Theories bloomed like shadows. Was it a jealous lover? A sadistic surgeon with surgical knowledge, given the precision of her wounds? Or something more sinister, a ritualistic killing tied to occult practices or elite Hollywood circles? In later years, whispers of cover-ups and police corruption emerged. Some investigators believed key evidence was deliberately buried to protect influential figures. Others drew chilling connections between the Dahlia case and other unsolved murders of the era, hinting at a serial killer stalking the streets of Los Angeles. Decades have passed, but Elizabeth Short's ghost still lingers in pop culture. Films, books, and songs continue to retell her story, each adding new twists to an already tangled web. Yet the truth, the real, unvarnished truth, remains buried beneath decades of speculation. The Black Dahlia isn't just an unsolved murder. It's a mirror reflecting the darker side of fame, where beauty meets brutality and innocence is devoured by obsession. When we look at these stories, the lost settlers of Roanoke, the vanishing skyjacker D.B. Cooper, the drifting ghost ship Mary Celeste, the missing pioneer Amelia Earhart, the Union leader who disappeared without a trace, and the haunting murder of the Black Dahlia, one truth becomes clear. America's history isn't just written in victories and discoveries, it's also written in mysteries. Each of these tales whispers from the margins of history, defying explanation, taunting the curious. They are the gaps in the record, the questions without answers, the echoes of events that logic cannot neatly contain. And perhaps that's why they endure, because mystery, in its purest form, feeds something deep in the human soul, that eternal thirst to know more, to understand the unexplainable. For centuries, historians, detectives, and dreamers alike have tried to solve these enigmas, chasing every clue, every rumor, every fragment of evidence. Yet each time they get close, the truth slips away, like mist on the horizon. It's as if history itself is guarding its secrets, refusing to let them go. And maybe that's what draws us back, time and time again. Not just the horror, not just the tragedy, but the possibility. The idea that somewhere, out there, the answers still exist. That a diary remains undiscovered, a confession still hidden, a piece of wreckage still waiting to be found. The allure of the unknown isn't just about solving mysteries, it's about confronting the limits of our understanding. It's about acknowledging that for all our science, our technology, and our intelligence, some parts of history remain stubbornly beyond reach. In a world obsessed with facts, these mysteries remind us that not everything can be explained. Some truths live in the shadows, haunting, fascinating, eternal. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly how they're meant to stay. The mystery never ends. These stories may never have an ending, but that's what makes them eternal. If you enjoyed unraveling the unsolved secrets of America's past, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Because the next mystery might be closer than you think.